Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks. We are here today with a work-in-progress Lego MOC, or my own creation. This is based on a house I used to have built about a year or two ago called the SigFig house. Basically for my SigFig and other SigFigs to hang out in an old town that I used to have set up. Since then, which was on a 16 by 16 plate, I've decided to expand it to a 32 by 32 base plate. Even though the house itself isn't as large as the base plate, it still has a lot more to it that the previous version did not, and will continue to have more as we update throughout this series. So, a lot of the same stuff is all throughout here, just a little bit more expanded, and I also threw in a whole bunch of minifigures, a bunch of them that I've customized, you can see in there, out of official LEGO parts, Purist Custom, that I thought would just add to just giving a look for having several minifigures hanging out and doing different things all through here. Give you a sense of scale for it too. So it has a lot of the key components that the first floor had in the first house. The brown being more of a carpet or some kind of wooden boards, but just allowing for any kind of stud space where minifigures can move or put objects. The table is actually a new addition, as well as the TV next to the table. Those are new for this particular setup of the town, or of the house, and that actually is removable. So it does seem a little awkward right now for it being in the way of walking from the door to the stairs or vice versa, but it allows you just simply by this stud to pop right off. And you could move minifigures, you can move the chairs for who's sitting there, so you could do different things at the table. The table itself, I may move to another area of this room, just so it allows more clearance, but at least for now, you get the idea for it. A bunch of these are on tiles underneath these cylinder pieces, and the one cylinder that is there is on a plate. So it has room to fit a minifigure sitting right at the table. It does get a little bit crowded, but I will work on that a little bit later. A bunch of things in here, like I said, work in progress. Well, at least for now, Handsome Devil is sitting at the table. He's one of my own creations I've created on my own. Not actually based on anything, just kind of a funny devil with a cool suit. There is also in here a Purist Custom version of Grunkle Stan and Bill Cipher, both from Gravity Falls. That will be covered in a future video with other characters. But for now, thought I'd show them around and where you can place them inside of the house. So I'm going to move them out for now as we take a closer look. Now, one thing I wanted to keep the same, or a little bit expanded on, was the kitchen. A lot of the same appliances are in here, and almost the same build of them. Like the microwave is exactly the same as the previous version. This one, you can't open the door, it's just there for show, as sometimes LEGO designers do, or even LEGO MOC builders do, when it comes to things inside of a house or any kind of building. So you actually do have one thing that is sticking out from the other side, and that's, I guess you could say, the vent that would go for the microwave. I'm not an expert on appliances. Just want to say that right off the bat. I'm not a home designer. I'm not HGTV or whatever, but I thought I'd make something that seems relatively realistic. Even though the scale is off, even though the sizes are weird, it's just supposed to look like what you would find in a normal house, at least for the most part. You also have another vent that's right next to it for the stovetop and oven, which has its own dial, and inside of the oven, you actually have room to fit some donuts. There's a small tray of donuts on a 1x2 modified plate with an edge on it, just enough space to fit inside of there, and you can take those out. I'm just going to keep them heated in there. The tile orientation in the kitchen is actually on purpose compared to the 1x1 studs, so that you have the proper places to fit a minifigure without interfering with appliances such as the oven or the fridge that's in the back. You also have an island on the other side where you can place more of your cooking materials or food that's going to be served, or even just drinks. As far as the fridge itself, you can actually prop that right out of here and get a really weird, unusual face behind there. It's kind of more of an Easter egg for right now. I don't know if it's going to stay there, but I'm just going to move this back in. And you actually do have some room to fit some food in the fridge with this little door opening. You have a freezer on top where you can fit one or two food items also. Right now, there's just a trans neon green popsicle in the freezer. Nothing in the fridge yet. But these are probably going to change for a bit. I've seen other designs that probably would work a little bit better. I've actually designed something a little bit better for a refrigerator, but that's more for a store or a restaurant, so I just thought, I don't know, we'll figure it out later on. But for right now, that's how that is. Same as the old design. You also have a sink in there with the newer, well, not newer, but like, in my opinion, kind of a better style of sink that they don't always use. They always use one that has like these really big faucet pieces, or faucets on either side. But this is kind of a more classic style that's as early back as Classic Space. And I think it was even used in some of the large doll sets like Scala or Belleville or something like that. I remember seeing it somewhere in there. But it's a really nice piece if you come across it. I've used it from Lego City, and I decided to use that for this sink area, which actually does have some bubbly water, which is simulated by some 1x1 round studs. And right next to there is just a little hand sanitizer, kind of a soap dispenser. You also have, that I mentioned the dial there, you also have like a dial and a handle on the microwave. So as we spin this around, also wanted to mention there is a spot on the wall for the fire extinguisher, which is not a ketchup bottle, but might as well be according to Brickstar. So, you know, I tried to differentiate the two, at least for now. Maybe it'll be funny to actually switch them. And with Handsome Devil in the house, you probably would do that. You know, so there's a little space for the TV. Again, that is likely to move as well as the table area. And there is actually space underneath the staircase. Now, like in the old setup, I've actually built the staircase into the wall. And only from certain angles can you actually see how this thing is supposed to be attached to the wall. Unfortunately, for this design, or for this setup currently, I do not have the walls from either side pop out. For right now, the setup is that only the back wall is going to pop out, as well as just taking the next roof, or the next level off in order to reach inside of here and move things around. But I am still considering that option as far as making the staircase removable. Now, from the outside, you can't really tell that the wall is built, that the wall and the staircase are built into each other. But if I take off a couple layers of blue bricks, you can actually see a little bit more about that. It's actually a whole bunch of 2 by something or 1 by somethings that extend into the back of the staircase and are just simply covered up by blue bricks. Now, the staircase might be a little bit tricky when it comes to building the second floor, as far as allowing enough clearance for a minifigure to walk up the stairs. I know that the stairs themselves are at a large height to, you know, compared to a minifigure, you can't really get them with a full foot up to get up the stairs, but I will work around that as best as I can. And for right now, I don't think it really matters too much. They give the simulation of a minifigure going upstairs. It doesn't have to be like this ridiculous angle like that. I think if you just have them positioned on the stairs like this, you still get the impression. But for right now, I'm just pop that out. There is actually room now underneath the staircase in order to fit a small storage closet. I thought, hey, that's a cool idea. You could fit a couple extra things in there. And houses do have storage closets underneath their staircase. So, I'll have to pop off a few things for right now. But I actually have inside of this storage closet for now, we have Harry Potter. Of course, why wouldn't he be underneath the staircase? He's not really happy about it, though. First of all, I didn't even stand him up properly. But also because there's not a lot of room underneath that staircase. You can see the crate in the background, which is, you know, usually done in a 4x3 orientation. And the best way to fit that in here is in that 3 wide scale. Yeah, there's not even enough room to fit a minifigure completely underneath the staircase. I mean, unless you take that crate out, and let's see if we pop him back in here. There's a cherry there. That should probably be in the kitchen. Yeah, unless you fit a minifigure like there, you're really not going to get enough room for a minifigure. I think that would be a cool idea to have Harry Potter underneath the staircase as a nice little Easter egg. And I also think, hey, this storage space needs a little bit more room for storage, because even on the back of here, it does not look great. So I'll just take this out. I'll take the cherries out. And by the way, this crate is supposed to be holding a whole bunch of soda cans, which is a design idea I got from Lego Friends and Julia Pham. A while ago, she sent me something like that, made out of Lego pieces. As I move around here, you can see there's really not that much space for anything in here. There are a couple extra pieces still stuck in there, but I actually do want to make that space more accessible and a little bit easier to fit stuff and move stuff around if needed. So that way, you know, if I need to put away something that isn't going to be used right now, like maybe a certain table or a box of soda, then I could actually reach in there with my big hands and do so. So I'm actually planning on redesigning this staircase and door frame area so that they will all connect and it'll be easier to just pop this whole thing out. Whether the wall goes with it, I'm not sure yet, but I do want to work on the stability of this building and may have to keep the wall in place. I do still want to work on the microwave and the refrigerator, try to make them a little bit smaller, because I've seen other designs, and I think they could be done a little bit better compared to what I have here. Maybe hold a little bit more food in there. I don't know. We'll figure that out. And that will be updated in another video. Not just for those parts, but maybe also we could throw in, if I get to work on the second floor, then I could show that, at least the foundation for it, and as well as the wall that's supposed to be in here. I don't know yet if there's going to be any sort of backyard. I mean, there's not really much for a front yard. There's not much space that could be used for a backyard. It would be nice to get the rest of the fencing work down here. I just need to get a couple more of those pieces. But for right now, this is what I'm working on, and it will change over time. Harry's happy now that he's out of the staircase, the storage closet. And yeah, I will also do a video later on as far as those Gravity Falls custom minifigures, as well as plenty more. I know other people have made them in Lego. I wanted to give my shot at it, see how I do. And yeah, we'll talk about that all in another Lego video. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you have any ideas or modifications you want to throw in there. I don't think the table and the TV are going to stay there. Like I said, probably just move them a little bit further back or something, like a little bit more towards the kitchen maybe. But I think in general, I think this is going pretty well. I like how much more there's expanded here. If I have more yellow pieces, I would definitely make this bigger, but I do need a lot of yellow to fit in for the next two floors, because there's going to be a second floor and there's going to be like the attic, kind of the third floor space. So thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. You can check out other LEGO MOCs that I've built on my channel in their own playlist, and most of them should be complete. I actually do like the concept of showing some of these as they're a work in progress, so people get to see how things evolve and, you know, maybe see it for the better as time goes on. So we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.